What's up, everybody? Hope everybody's had a great week and a great weekend. I know entertainment-wise is definitely a great week. You know, we got some more Obi-Wan. We got Jurassic World coming out next week. But the one show I have been waiting for, Bern, I think you have too.
Yes.
For like a whole, almost a year and a half, I feel like at this point, is The Boys Season 3 finally dropped. And, man, it never ceases to disappoint. I think they've been doing that for all 3 seasons where they've dropped the first 3 episodes. And I think that's just definitely the way to go for streaming. Just to, like, drop a few episodes just to see, like, how people are testing with it. And also, you know, just to kind of give the show, like, okay, here's a few episodes for the plot. And this is essentially where it could go for the most part. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think that seems to be Amazon's MO, at least as of late with a lot of their new shows. They've been doing that, you know, dropping a few episodes in the beginning and then going week to week after that, which I think is, like you said, a really good strategy because you give people, you know, sort of the gist of what the show's going to be, so that way they can decide if they want to continue watching week to week as the episodes come out, or if they kind of just want to check out, you know, after seeing the first 2 or 3 episodes, whatever they decide to release.
Well, I know Disney started doing that too with some of his shows, like Book of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan, and I want to say Mando did it too. I don't quite remember off the top of my head, but no, okay, maybe it wasn't Mando. I was just thinking in my head. But they're starting to do that too, again, which isn't a bad thing because it's like, you know, I just, and especially if it's a good show, it's like I want to keep having more, and then it'll just increase that anticipation. But like I said, before I keep going, and especially before we jump into spoilers, guys, I know we're moving a little quick, but we are in season 3, so if you guys haven't seen the other 2, then this is definitely not for you because none of this shit will really make sense. So,
right.
Guys, don't forget to always click that like button, give us a subscribe, and you know, keep the conversation going. Again, we appreciate your support, guys. You know, we're getting more views, so it's really exciting. Like, again, leave it in the comments too. What are you guys liking? What do you guys want to hear more about? Stuff like that. We're all ears, especially with the boys. So
yeah, seems this little, you know, ranting community is growing a bit, and it's exciting, and we're really happy about it. And of course, we want to continue doing that. And you know, the more of you that join us on these things, is you know, the funner it'll be.
Absolutely. Okay, guys. Well, like I said, if you haven't seen if you've seen The Boys but haven't seen these 3 episodes, or at least one of them, definitely come on back after you watch them. They're about 40-something minutes each. It's a quick binge, and they're all on Amazon Prime. The first 3 are. So, Bern, shall we get started with the spoilers?
Yeah, let's get into all the gory and itty-bitty bits of this first 3 episodes so far.
Well, since you said it, the gore is definitely up there. I've been wanting to say it's the most gory one, but I'm like, no, there's been some other messed up one. Like, each season has never failed to, like, open up with something like that. Like, first season, you know, Huey's girlfriend gets just smashed to bits by A-Train. The second, I'm trying to think of second season, what happened in that one, to be honest. Like, what the beginning of that was. I can't think about it right now, but
well, it was the Black Noir. Was it Black Noirs or Homelander's assault on that, like what was it, like? It was like a base or something.
That's right. That was actually, Homelander, I want to say it was right? Black Noir. No, Black Noir kicked off that season for sure. Yeah, that was fucked up. And then this season started off with just the most disturbing thing I've ever seen. Like, no offense to the LGBTQ community, but I didn't think that would ever be a thing with what happened. Like, for those of you who don't know, I'm sure you know what scene I'm talking about. Basically, the Ant-Man parody character Termite, where he's screwing this little Barbie doll, and then him and his boyfriend are just doing lines in their room, which I was like, good God, sir, how are you guys still alive? And, oh, man, I thought it was just going to be like a weird hookup, like they were just gonna have traditional sex. It was no. He just, you know,
no, it wasn't.
He just put it on the table and he just hopped in, which was like, as disturbing as it is, I kind of got to give props to the production team, you know, for making this giant urethra.
Yeah.
And him just hopping, like, just like creepy, but...
Yeah, you know, a tiny Ant-Man knockoff jumping into another man's urethra was not on my bingo card for this season, I'll say that. What a crazy surprise.
I was very disturbed because I'm like, dude, we are just seeing this happen. And but then it just took another step further. Like, these like Seth Rogen, the other producers are like, you know what? Like, let's shock the audience with a giant penis. Then let's up the ante a little bit. Fucking sneezes his way to normal size, and splits his boyfriend apart. I was like, what the fuck? Like, oh my god, oh, that was horrible,
so brutal.
Oh. And then the other thing that was, I wouldn't say it's gore, but it's on the level of like fucked up for the boys, was when in episode 3, the Deep is like welcome back with Homelander and stuff, and they're having that dinner.
Yeah.
Which was just like this, like, again, he's an Aquaman / Namor parody character, but he's really tuned with fish. Basically, also another sexual deviant with all sort of marine life. And
yeah, and that scene with him and his wife, and he's like talking dirty to the octopus.
But I really like as a this show does such a great job of borderline humanizing these heroes, but also just showing how fucked up beyond belief they are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the Deep is someone I would never like really feel bad for. However, I did feel bad for this one because Homelander is just gone off the deep end, and he just forces him to eat the octopus alive. And just that whole commentary by the actor saying like, oh, he's begging for his life, like I like he's screaming, and it's like, oh,
he's praying.
Yeah, and then his fucking bitch of a psycho wife, which I thought was gonna be just like a kind of a, what's the point I'm thinking? Like, I thought she was just kind of be like a Mary Jane character where she's just supporting him and kind of like a random side character. She's just as fucked up as the rest of them when she sent that text, eat the fucking fish.
Yeah, I mean, because remember, they found it. Well, she was sort of like assigned to him, kind of in that cult in season 2. So her whole purpose and her whole drive is to get him back into the Seven. So she's like, you better eat that thing because this is our goal. She's like, she doesn't care about his feelings. She doesn't care about anything that he's saying in that moment. She's like, do it because this is what needs to be done. Like, damn, it's messed up.
It's just fucked up. Then him just slowly eating the octopus. Like, oh, buddy, that is hard. That's the one thing I will, like, you know what? I do feel bad for you, Deep, but you're still a fucker. Like, I'm sorry, man. I don't pity you in other aspects of that.
But I mean, that's such a credit to the great writing of the show. 3 seasons in, it feels like it's it hasn't missed a step at all, which is great because, like you said, the Deep is a character from the beginning of season 1 that we just despise this guy because, I mean, he sexually assaulted Starlight. So it's like, dude, this guy's the lowest of the low. And then throughout that season and now season 2 and then up until this point, it's like they've done a good job of like making you feel bad for the guy, even though he's a monster. But it's like, man, like you don't want to see him do that. It's like, again, really good writing, and I'm like, I can't help but feel bad for the dude in this moment.
Yeah, like that's something I definitely wouldn't wish upon my enemy, to be honest. Like, I wouldn't want you to eat like something you care about. Like, I'd rather just beat you to death. But
yeah, it's like if I opened a dish and said, "Here, eat your dog." It's like,
I would
no.
cry. I would literally cry or just kill myself. But like I said, those are the two most effed up things for me. Any other scene that like caught you like, holy shit, or like, oh my god, what am I watching kind of thing, or were those two most fucked up for you as well?
I mean, those were definitely like the big standouts of the first 3 episodes so far. But I mean, there's been violence here and there throughout the first 3 episodes that aren't to this level. But again, just the way they use the violence in the show, it's always effective in punctuating the storytelling. Actually, you know what? I will say the one that does come to mind was the base assault in episode 3, where we get to see the super team. I forget the name. Payback. Yeah. So I guess this universe's version of the Avengers.
The Avengers. Where,
where the 7 are the Justice League. But yeah, that whole when Grace was giving the whole recounting of what happened and how Soldier Boy sort of got taken out of the game. Yeah, that whole sequence, it did a good job of showing how incompetent they were as, an actual team of crime fighters, where they're, using their powers against, what's essentially the allies. They're blowing up their own men and, everything, this whole carnage is going on. And, after she gets knocked out and we wake up and see the aftermath of it, it was just brutal. So I think, that sequence is a really good one that we saw. Where, yeah, it goes to show that, they keep wanting these superheroes to get involved in military events, but when we see that they get in the field, they're much more less than incompetent. It's like these should not be the case.
Yeah, I mean, you would imagine that a superhero would be great for the military because they could just power through everything, like Homelander did in the end of season 1 and Black Noir did in season 2. But it's like, again, they were working alone. They're not part of a team. They don't know the training. And Payback was a perfect example. Like, again, the beauty of this writing of like superheroes grounded in reality is that they're treated as like celebrities and almost influencers. Like they're not true like people essentially, and in a way it kind of works because half these guys are all from test tubes and stuff. So it's a really interesting way of like how they write it. And when Payback, you see them just either killing their own men aimlessly without any sort of like direction of what to do, not knowing what they're doing. And then the aftermath, they're just like, oh my god, they're in shock and panicking. Like, dude, you just killed off these like rebels that are like fighting this government. Like, I don't feel bad for you guys because you fucked up everything. Like, you guys are a bunch of idiots. So
you were supposed to help the situation, and you just made it worse.
Yeah, that was a part that it was definitely fucked up. But I was angry. Like, wow, these guys are just idiots. But god damn it, Eric Kripke he knows how to push my buttons. Push my buttons when I watch this.
Absolutely.
And then again, so I mean, I know we talked about violence and some really just like what the hell kind of moments, but I will say this show also keeps excelling at parodying real life. Like the opening shot of Dawn of the Seven and the big climax where they're fighting Storm. It was played by Charlize Theron, which she's so stilted in that scene. Like, I'm like, this is definitely like not good acting, but she knows that she's having fun with it. They're having fun with it. So
yeah, they're really leading into the corniness of it all. It's so overacted. A lot of their internal movies that go on in the universe. It's so dumb, so dumb.
Oh man, just the whole lip, like where she's saying German stuff, like not even accurate to, like not with the German accent or anything, is so bad. And it's just, that was great. And then especially in episode 2 where Butcher goes to find gunpowder, Soldier Boy's sidekick, who's basically like Bucky, Winter Soldier kind of character. And
I would say also like Deadshot too.
Yeah, a little bit like, yeah, actually very much like
with
Deadshot,
his gun skills.
Parking garage. Yeah, especially that parking garage scene, that was crazy. And we see like Make America Safe Again, the whole commenting on like the Second Amendment debate and support and stuff like that. And the funniest one was the storm chasers, or like I forgot what they were calling it, but basically it was like a rally. Yeah, the rally is people supporting Stormfront. Like, it's really fucked up. I mean, it mirrors a lot of what happened in the last like few years politically wise and events. So
I mean, the show hasn't been shy of tackling a lot of very relevant issues. I mean, like all that included. And I did also like the little dig as well to like performative activism. Like the Vought land where they have all the LGBT signs and like all like the what is it called, the woke walk? So it's like they're poking fun at like corporations doing all these things,
like
saying
Pride Month and stuff.
Yeah, like we're all supportive of all these causes. It's like, no, you're just trying to make a buck. Like don't lie. and with A-Trade too, where he's trying to do his rebranding of for the culture and stuff, and it's like, dude, like you don't give a shit. Like you want to be more relevant. That's all. It's very selfish. It's like, dude, we can see right through this.
Actually, I mean, I know I kind of skipped past the fucked up stuff, but I will say this, like, along with parodying, I think they've done a great job, like, making us feel bad for characters. Like Deep is a good example of like how he's a total scumbag. They kind of, the whole 7 really are, except for Starlight, and Maeve isn't perfect, but she's kind of tossed into that world a little bit. But A-Train actually is somebody I was kind of feeling bad for, because given I'm plus size as well, and they kind of do a good job of showing that he's getting a little chunky in his suit.
Yeah,
not like bad, but like compared to how in shape he used to be in season 1, just because of the whole using Compound V it's really put a strain on his heart. Where we find out with his brother, like, if I run, I could
he could
fine,
die,
or my heart will die. Yeah, my heart will explode. So, and just when Homelander just keeps just getting at him, like, oh, buddy, don't feel bad, man. Because again, you know, I've been poked at fun for like my weight and stuff for years, but it's just like, oh, it's hard. There's just, and then like especially when he was like threatening him, like, what'd you fucking say to me? And he's just like, nothing, I'm sorry. And I'm glad that like Maeve and Starlight are really like, Maeve is the double agent, but also Starlight is too. Like we gotta stop him. He's losing his fucking mind.
mm-hmm. And it goes to show like where Homelander is as a character. You know, he's losing a lot of like his influence and his power, not only within the team, but you know within like his popularity. You know, like Edgar tells him like his ratings are down, his approval amongst all these different demographics are lowering. So he doesn't have as much pull anymore. And we know from the last few seasons that the one thing that Homelander desires most is for the people to love him, you know, and after the whole, you know, Stormfront event, that's just shot all the way down. So it's sort of like he can't take it out on anyone except for like bullying people in small moments, like, you know, that moment with A-Train, and then the dinner scene with the Deep. You know, he's bringing these people in just so he can have someone to pick on. Like, dude, he's such a bully in this season so far. He's like a little kid lashing out.
Yeah, and then the biggest curveball was that Stormfront survived what happened from Ryan and their fight with the other lady, like the ladies and stuff. I was like, what? She's still living? And just again another grotesque scene of her just jerking him off one hand because, you know, he needs that satisfaction. But when she goes into the I will say this, at least Homelander's not into the whole Nazi thing. He's a piece of shit, but at least he's not a Nazi with the whole Aryan and stuff. Because I like how he's like, no, that's not what it's about. Just like, forget it, get better. Like, oh damn.
Yeah, it's like, you know, you can be a total monster, but, you know, Nazis, like, that's where he draws the line. At least he has one. You know, we could say that, I guess.
Yeah, I guess we can stick with that. That's what I'm saying. It's so fucked up to say it because he's still a monster, but at least that I kind of was like, okay, I'll give you a point on that one. But, you know, and just, and then, what the fuck? The Deep, Stormfront. The whole, that bombshell at the end of episode 2 where he's just like, I don't give a shit. I was like, oh no. Oh, this is bad. This is really bad. Like, he's definitely ready to take that whole despot superhero kind of supervillain kind of momentum, and oh my gosh, I was definitely scared of episode 3. Like by the time the end of it happened, I was like, oh fuck, like what's gonna happen? Especially the whole manipulating Starlight, saying, oh we're in love. I was like, oh, you piece of shit! Like, oh my god, just. Too much shocking moments in this whole in these few episodes, Burn. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think they could make Homelander any scarier than where he had been in the first 2 seasons, but now we're seeing that he you know, where we thought he hit his limit at some point, he's finding another limit, and now where he feels like he has nothing left to lose, he's potentially at his most dangerous. You know, where he just does not care anymore. He's like, yeah, I know, I don't care. That moment when he's talking to Starlight, when he's like, if you release the video, then I don't care. Do it. Like you can do that, and you can destroy my reputation. I don't care anymore. Like, you know, sure, I want people to love me, but if, you know, I can settle for being feared, you know, by everyone. And he's talking about how he would just destroy everything because, yeah, at that point he would have nothing left to lose. So it's like, man, all the leverage, you know, everyone thought they had on him for the last season, in the last season, it's out the window now, and we're seeing this awful character break bad. It's like, I didn't think he can get worse. He's getting worse, and it's terrifying to see. And it's like, again, Anthony Starr's just, you know, portraying it so great. I mean, oh man. We've talked in previous episodes about like his performance, and he's just killing it in this season. And the fact that he continues to not being get recognized by the Emmys or anyone, it's just a true crime. Like, come on guys, this guy's giving an amazing performance every single time.
I'm kind of glad he's bounced back too from his like little social situation. Like I think it was in Spain or something this last year. He
Yeah,
got in
got
a
in like a
fight at a
bar
bar or
fight.
something. But I'm glad he's like bounced back. At least it was kind of like a one and done situation for the most part, or at least
Hmm.
like he's not doing that shit anymore. Where
No, that's not a
can I say
pattern.
the same about? Can I say the same about Ezra? Right now, yes. No, so far nothing. But he did make a few mistakes recently. So
Hmm.
I mean, like apples to oranges. Like not that I don't want Ezra to get better, and I'm not trying to poke fun at it, but I'm like, one actor learned, man. So there's got to be something too. But and then speaking of pushing limits, Homelander and Butcher are like two sides of the same coin.
Oh,
Butcher's essentially
absolutely.
another just villain, and we're seeing him get pushed because I really like the development that he's trying to be there for Ryan, like being a surrogate dad for him. And
Hmm.
so far he's doing fine, but with the whole using that V24, like the latest in compound from Maeve slash Vought, um, we are just the fact that he used it and beat the shit out of Gunpowder and killed him for it.
Hmm.
It's like, damn, dude, you really have crossed that line because he hates Soups, and rightfully so. But it's I guess it's kind of that thing like if you can't beat him, join him,
Hmm.
and
Well, he's slowly
Huey's
becoming the
also.
thing that he hates.
Yeah, honestly, like it's pushing everybody's limits. Homelander, Butcher, Huey, and Starlight. Specifically, when Huey finds out that Victoria slash Nadia is the head smasher, which I'm just gonna I think or head popper. I forgot what they called it. I was like, damn, that's actually pretty clever.
Oh man,
But
I don't remember what they said.
but it's like, god damn. So like their whole Bureau of Superhuman Affairs has been a lie for the last
Hmm.
year, and she's and we find out that she's what's that?
Edgar.
Stan Edgar's Edgar's adopted daughter. So
Hmm.
it's like essentially it's like Lex Luthor slash Nick Fury with Jean Grey and I don't know who else. That's essentially who I would equate her to. Um,
Hmm.
that
But
was just messed up. And
it's just like
yeah,
Vought is at the center of everything. They're in charge of these soups that are running rampant and doing whatever the hell they want, and now they're also like in line with the government, and they're the ones that are bringing them in. So they're just pulling the strings in every direction. So it leaves these characters in such a desperate situation where they feel like the only way they can take them down is by playing dirty, and that's they're left with no other options at this point.
and then Starlight with her limits too, where she wanted to get out of there. He was said, no, you need to stay in the group, just at least have an ear to the ground. And again, with the way the episode 3 ended, where she kisses Homelander just for the whole show and for the press, but her fist behind her, I was like, oh, I feel that anguish too. Like she's just like,
Hmm.
fuck the world right now.
She's
Like,
angry on the inside.
yeah, it's bad. It's just so bad. And then and with the whole thing of like, again, just the performances all around. Everybody
Hmm.
does such a great job. This is easily one of the best casted shows on television. Like,
Absolutely.
I can't think of anybody to replace anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, everyone plays their characters so well, and they're all written so well too. Where we have all these different storylines that I'm interested in all of them. Like I really want to know where these characters go and where their journey takes them. I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better like set of performers to portray these characters that I know nothing about. I've never read the boys comics. I don't know these characters. I've only ever seen them in this show, and yeah, they're all so great.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely still want to get the books, but I still have so much. I still have my Invincible Omnibus to read. I got a stack of books I never have read, and I've ordered them. I need to read. I just need to get to it. But speaking of what we think will happen, with the whole details of Soldier Boy, that he's not dead, that the Ruskies took him, and now he's in Russia. Again, another winter, like a Winter Soldier storyline for him.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they're gonna try and use Soldier Boy to aim him at Homelander because it's essentially Captain America going against Superman. Which,
Hmm.
in putting it that way, I'm like, no, Superman would still win, so that's probably what will happen. But my thing is just because like when we saw the flashback, how he's just another gun-toting piece of shit, and that he was potentially sexually assaulting Gunpowder as well. I know
Uh-huh.
Butcher's little dig at him in the bathroom, but Gunpowder's like, no, he just slapped me around a little. The haze went too far. It's like, it's dude, if it happened, it happened. Like, you're about to die. Just tell the truth. But we'll never. I guess we'll find out later if they reveal that. But
Yeah.
I think they're gonna try and aim at him, but Mother's Milk is just not gonna have it, especially with his turmoil going on that he's divorced, and bringing Soldier Boy back into the swing of things is like, he killed his entire family. This is why Mother's Milk has started his fight against Soups. Like, I mean, I'm not sure. I know we were talking about, like, will they do the whole Stormfront thing with him where he sides with Homelander? I don't know. I mean, I think it would, but at the same time, when you point that out, they're not going to do it twice in a row. I was like, I kind of agree with you. But what do you think is going to happen? Like, do you have any guesses on it?
Yeah, I mean, the way they're setting up so far is it seems like there's this weapon that's gonna be the thing that to bring Homelander down, and I think potentially what that weapon is not an actual like thing. Like I think it's probably Soldier Boy himself, or at least that's what they're hoping. It seems like he was the leader of the Payback team, and with Homelander, he's the leader of the Seven. So these two, I don't think they can coexist. I don't think that will be the case where where Soldier Boy comes back into the world, the modern world, and him and Homelander are copacetic. Like no, I think they're gonna have. If they do have interactions, it's going to be struggles for power. It'll be interesting to see like how the storyline plays out. I have no idea how it's going to go, but I think at some point we're going to get a head to head between those two because you can't have two alphas in alpha superheroes existing. At least I think Homelander wouldn't want that, and I don't know if Soldier Boy would want that either. With the way the very minimal characterization we've seen of him so far, I'm sure they're gonna dig more into his character going forward. But yeah, it seems like they're gonna go on a head to head, and yeah, like you said, it'll be interesting to see how that dynamic plays out, especially with the history that he has with Mother's Milk and what that potential storyline could be. So it's a lot of conflicts ahead, and I think the first 3 episodes have set that up really well. Where I don't know where it's gonna go, but I'm very interested to see how it plays out.
Yeah, essentially the boys have four villains to go after: Homelander, Soldier Boy, Edgar, and Newman. Just like it's gonna be pretty busy because last season all they had is Homelander and Stormfront, which was already enough.
Yeah,
So it's gonna be crazy to. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy to see that because Stormfront was pretty freaking strong, and Newman is obviously strong too, where she could just blow somebody's head up no problem. But it's gonna be interesting to see how this all will unfold, and I can't wait, dude. I think Amazon, thank God for them and The Boys and Invincible, because those are easily some of the best, like especially this one, the best superhero properties outside of Marvel and DC.
Mm-hmm.
If only Valiant had that same luck, but they're stuck with some. So.
Yeah, they're them being under that studio, and unfortunately, that doesn't mean good things.
No, it does not. But guys, this is definitely the beginning of just the rest of the season. So we'll definitely be doing it as much every episode. So stick around for that. Obi-Wan again, man. That's gonna be. We were not lying when we said it's a stacked summer. So, keep sticking with us on the ride. And again, in the comments, let us know. Was there anything that you guys want to see this season, especially for those maybe who've read the books? We would love to know more extended universe on that stuff. And just as always, guys, we'll see you next time, and stay Bodacious, and then keep on ranting.
Yeah, everybody. Like Rye said, a lot of cool stuff to talk about, and we're definitely going to be talking about this show because I know he believes it, and I'm saying it. This is one of our favorite superhero properties that we're getting. So awesome counter programming to what we've been getting with the more mainstream stuff with Marvel and DC. So yeah, definitely excited to be talking about this and a lot of stuff that are coming out in the summer. So yeah, we'll be here for that, and we hope you guys join us too. So until the next one, everybody, be good and be safe, and catch y'all later.